Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. And if you are new here, I'm Kennice. I'm an Indonesian chef living in Brisbane, Australia. And on this channel, I share about my life, travels, self-improvement journeys while building a life overseas. I've got quite a full day ahead of me today, with a few things happening that don't normally happen during my regular routine. So I thought I'd bring you along and show you what a day like this looks like. Let's get started! It's raining. I had my job ready program assessment today, so I arrived at work a little earlier than usual to get myself organized before everything started. I've already lodged my 482 visa application and I'm currently waiting for the outcome. So this assessment wasn't something I was particularly stressed about. Still, having someone observe you for 2 hours while you're working as a chef is definitely not something that happens every day. At around 11 o'clock, he came in and had a quick chat with my supervisor before making his way over to my section. Then the assessment began. For the next 2 hours, he stayed in my section, observing how I worked throughout the service. He asked a few questions here and there, but for the most part, I just focused on doing my job as I normally would. Okay, let's talk about it. Jadi hari ini, Alexa, lights on.
Okay.
Most of the questions is about how I do my job, and I actually asked him questions as well about his experience, his opinions about the culinary in Australia, because most of his career he spent it overseas, not in Australia, and he just went back here like 20 years ago to be a trainer and an assessor. Other than that, he is just there and prompting something like, do you know about the purple chopping board? Not many kitchen has the purple chopping board, but I know what it is for, so I just explained to him like, oh yeah, we don't have it here, but I know it's about the allergen chopping board. But yeah, I only saw it once in my school. He also asked me about some of the common territories, so I just mentioned, yeah, dairy-free, gluten-free, shellfish allergy, peanut allergy, stuff like that. Vegetarian. Sometimes he also asked about how am I organizing this section, like what do you just write a list for the next person who worked in the section, and then I just explained to him that yes, I usually write a list because those who work in this section is casuals, so I can just write a list for them to do, and I try to prepare as much as I can for the service wise so that they don't have to worry about it and just follow the list. And I don't know how the topic get into here, but we also talk about my role in the kitchen. Like I told him about some of the stories where I tried to propose a dish to the executive chef. One of it got approved, which is the sauce idea, and it actually is in the menu. Other than that, I also have a little cooking competition in the kitchen, which only the full-time chefs are joining. I tried to propose a dish and it didn't get through, but that's okay. They like my idea. And he asked me about how I make a dish. Like, do you just use all the ingredients you have? Do you propose it with your prior knowledge? And then I just said it's a mix of both. For example, the dish that I proposed to competition is when I was inspired by Dubai chewy cookie, which is like chewy on the outside and then crunchy on the inside, and I tried to imitate the same texture but making it a savory version, because Dubai Chewy cookie, as we know, is dessert, it's sweet, but I turned it into savory. But the sauce inside this dish is from like peanut sauce, sesame, tahini, which is one of the sauces that I learned from Indonesian cuisine. It's very similar to pecel or gado-gado, saus kacang, but it's something like that. I twist it around to make it the same texture as I wanted. So I think he is happy with my answer as well. At the end of the assessment, he just said thank you for the time, and he's gonna wrap up, and that he's just gonna write whatever he sees today, and I should hear back from them within 14 days or so. And he said don't worry about it. So I believe I have passed the assessment, but we will see in 14 days. I finished my shift at around 3 o'clock, but my day wasn't over yet. All staff had to attend compulsory fire safety training. We learned about the emergency procedures, how to use a fire blanket, and how to operate different types of fire extinguishers safely. Once the training finished, I headed home. I took the train back, and my husband picked me up from the station. Turun dari kereta yang jemputan. I only had about 30 minutes to freshen up before we headed out again. And for now, I'm just gonna get ready for dinner with a couple that I know from the church. Yeah, we're gonna go to Sunnybank and eat there. Alexa, lights off.
Okay.
After a busy day at work, it was nice to slow down, enjoy some good food, and catching up with friends. We ended up visiting their home afterwards and spent a little more time chatting before finally saying goodbye. And to be honest, nothing dramatic happened today. So now I'm just gonna wait for my assessment result, which I think is gonna be next week. So feel free to subscribe if you want to know about the update, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye bye.